Crazy.
Well, you know, there's been a lot of targeted individuals have been coming out of the woodworks recently, and I've got a couple of interviews coming up here in the next couple of days. One's a guy named Kevan, and he had been on the Bases Project, but I think he's claiming to be a super soldier or something like that, but maybe possibly also a targeted individual. You know, you'd think most super soldiers are targeted individuals. But my estimation of the deal, after hearing a lot of testimony from different targeted individuals, one test that I would try would be location, because if they are using directed energy beam weapons, or they are using some type of lily wave to do in training on your brain and to implant ideas and programming and, or even noises, bothersome noises in there, well, it's probably targeted for your neighborhood or whatever. I mean, it's probably specific to where you live. So my idea for an experiment would be on a morning or whatever that you're hearing these noises and stuff, get on a train and go about 10 miles away or something, or a bus. They're rolling out. They have prototypes here in the United States, but I think where they're actually doing it first is right there in London. And that's exactly what they are. They look like light poles. I think there's an option about whether, you know, the municipality or whatever wanted any functional stuff on there that would help people, or if they just wanted just to spy on people. But not only are they high definition cameras in there, and possibly radionics or some type of scalar transmission or microwave transmission devices.
It's not a camera because it looks like it's made of solid metal.
These has the symptoms of these being a targeted individual. Did that start around the same time that they put the lamppost up?
No, that's been there for a long time. That pole.
Do you think possibly the source of the noise could be underground somehow? Maybe some underground tunneling they're doing?
I don't know.
What do you, you know, you sent me that link to that video earlier about star children.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's another one of those videos by Mary Rodwell. There's another one which is also very good, done by Mary Rodwell, that I can send you. But I didn't send you the other one because the first one is quite a long one.
What are your thoughts on Mary Rodwell?
Well, she's an amazing lady because Mary Rodwell is recognised internationally as she's British, but she's or born British. She's Australia's leading researchers and writers about UFOs and contact phenomena. And she's the author of the highly acclaimed book, Awakening. Have you heard of Awakening?
No, I haven't, but I am familiar with Mary Rodwell.
Yeah. And the awakening is how extraterrestrial contact can transform your life. And she wrote that in 2002. And she's the producer of award-winning documentaries. And she's done a lot of that. But she's the movie that I've sent you that you've been watching is about ET contact with children. There's been a lot of children who've been freaking out their parents by saying to their parents, "You're not my real parents. My real parents are on the ship."
Yeah,
and they're going up to the ship to be educated and they're saying to their parents, that the school I go to at night, I learn a lot more than I do in the day school, because the day school is boring, but I learn really interesting stuff when I go to my proper school. And they're learning, 4-year-old children learning quantum physics when they go up to the ship. And this is the kind of thing that's been going on with a lot of children. Children as young as 2 and 3 are being taught quantum physics. And this, you can imagine, is freaking out their parents when they hear it.
I imagine, yeah. Your 2 or 3-year-old child starts learning quantum physics.
Yeah. And this is being proved because the kids are coming back. You can imagine the average 2 and 3-year-old can't read and write normally, but they're coming back and their parents are finding that the kids have scribbled down stuff on paper like quantum physics and doing diagrams and things, and the parents are taking these pictures to university professors who can't believe what they're saying.
That's
because the university professors are saying, this is stuff we've been trying to work out for years.
Oh, it's that groundbreaking. They've been solving problems and stuff.
Yeah, and they're 2 and 3-year-old kids.
So has any of these findings been verified? Has it been published in any peer-reviewed journals having to do with physics?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but they're taking it seriously. And these kids, I'm saying 2 and 3-year-old kids, some of them are a lot older, sort of 13 and 14 and 17. But these kids, they've been starting them very young, and the 17-year-old kids, they've been doing it for a long time, going up to the spaceships, and they've been walking them through walls. The kids are saying to the mothers, "I don't mind walking through the walls," and this is freaking the parents out somewhat. You got a pendulum.
Yeah.
Do you do any dowsing?
I'm trying to kind of start. I have a friend, a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know who she is, and she uses one of these to she asks it questions and stuff like, show me your yes answer, show me your no answer, stuff like that.
Yeah, you read my mind. I was going to do, but you already know how to do it, so I won't show you.
No, I don't know how to do it. I've had zero luck with it. So why do you have a pendulum handy there, or do you want me to use this one?
Well, I haven't got one, but I could quickly make one. But you've got one. But is your elbow lifted up? It is. Well, I can do that with you. We'll get that working. Just hold your pendulum up. All right, hold your and is your elbows free? Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We'll just look at the end of the pendulum and just let it hang down like that, and that's fine.
Okay. Do I put it even with my eyes?
Sorry?
Does it need to be even with my eyes, or?
Oh, it doesn't need to be anything. Just hold it up there, and that's fine. And just watch the pendulum, and you'll see it just hangs down, and that's great. And as you watch the pendulum, and you link that pendulum with your mind, and you don't have to do anything for this to happen, because it's already happened. And you'll notice that it's beginning to move now. And as it begins to move and it's linking with your mind, you'll begin to notice that it begins to swing, and it's going to begin to swing in a circle. And I don't know whether it's going to, it might be clockwise, it might be anti-clockwise, and your unconscious mind knows which way it's going to be. But don't try to make it happen, just let it happen, and it's going to begin to swing in a circle. Don't try to make it happen, don't try to stop it happen, but just watch the pendulum, and it's just going to begin to swing in a circle, and it'll begin to swing in bigger and bigger circles. And you can't make it happen, you can't stop it happening. But your unconscious mind, when it's ready, is going to make it begin to swing in bigger and bigger circles. Might be clockwise or anti-clockwise, and that depends on the decision that your unconscious mind is going to make now as it begins to swing in circles. Might be clockwise or anti-clockwise. I don't know. You don't know, I know. But your unconscious mind knows which way it's going to be. It might be clockwise. And there it goes. It's starting to happen now. Beginning to spin in circles. There it goes. It's starting now. And you see it's beginning to move, don't you, Ayin?
Yes.
Don't you? It's
Yes.
beginning to go. It's starting to move there, and it's going to start to move in bigger and bigger circles. It's starting to happen there. That's right. It's starting to go. It's starting to go. And it's going to start moving in bigger and bigger circles. There you go there. It's starting to move bigger and bigger circles. There it goes. It's starting to go. That's good. Well done. And I'm not talking to you, Ayin. I'm talking to your subconscious mind as it connects with that pendulum.
Can I rest my elbow on something?
No. You need to keep your elbow free.
Okay.
You changed hands, have you?
Yeah, is that all right? My other arm was getting tired.
No, that's okay. Fine. That's okay. All right, now, no, that's fine. I'll start again. Now, Ayin, just don't look at me. Don't worry about me, and just again allow your unconscious mind to connect with the pendulum, and it's going to begin to circle. When it's made, it starts to move now, it's going to start to begin to spin in bigger and bigger circles. A little bit at first, and it's going to start to move now. It's made its decision, I think, and it's going to start spinning a little bit at a time. And it's going to start moving in bigger and bigger circles. And just relax and allow your subconscious mind to connect. Allow it to make that link, and those circles will start. It will start to spin a little bit at first, and it will start to circle one way or the other. It's starting to go there. You see that movement starting, can't you? It looks like, there it goes. It was inevitable, and it's starting to spin faster and faster, bigger and bigger circles. Well done. And it's going to get bigger and bigger, that circle. It will start to spin faster and faster. Wait, stop. Yeah.
So, have you ever seen Mary Rodwell speak?
Have I ever seen her speak?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen her live.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's because I've been to one of Miles Johnson's events.
Oh, that's fascinating. Which one was it?
Awake and Aware in London.
Oh, well, that was pretty recently, wasn't it?
That was in 2016.
Oh, wow, kick ass. Oh, yeah, I think they just had another one, but it was Awake and Aware in Ireland, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was last year. That was in 2017? I think that was, yes. Yeah, I think it was, yes. Well, I would like to have gone to that, but would have been nice.
Yeah, I think it was, just a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, Awake and Aware in Ireland. Now, when you went to Awake and Aware in London, that was in 2016?
Yes.
What month was it?
July, I think that was.
Oh,
it might have been June.
That was the month that Max Spears died.
He died. Yes, it was. It was. Yeah, he was due to speak there, but he died, so he couldn't.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah, he was supposed to speak at that very event that you were at.
Yes.
So somebody covered for him. I can't remember who it was, but. And by that time, I'm sure Miles had either maybe gotten word or had figured it out that there was foul play.
Yes. And we had, when we were in the venue, we had a flying saucer above us, so they wanted to let us know they were watching.
Oh, did you see the flying saucer?
I didn't know. They went outside and photographed it, and then they came in and put the flying saucer on the screen.
Oh my gosh! Did it look? Was it a pretty clear picture?
Yeah, it was.
Fascinating.
The week before, they were in Watford at the previous event, and they had a black helicopter flying above.
Oh, the week before they had a black helicopter flying about?
Yeah, they had a black helicopter flying above the venue the week before, and when we were there, they had a black flying saucer flying above.
On the same night?
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I said the week before, they had a black helicopter, and the week we were there, we had a black flying saucer.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's fascinating.
A week between.
Yeah. Were the conferences
they wanted us to know that they're watching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm convinced of the presence of these entities. I don't, know if they're extraterrestrial. Well, I think that they are extraterrestrial. If nothing else, just based on the findings of John Lamb Lash.
Yeah.
And but he says they're not out in the cosmos and all that stuff. He says they're particular to this solar system. And so I don't know what to think about that, but it seems like there are many different phenomena as far as all these different races of ETs and stuff like that. Now, let me ask you this. Somebody like Travis Walton, who was abducted by UFOs, and who was the subject of that movie Fire in the Sky. Are you familiar with him?
I don't know.
Well, he's one of the most famous abductees ever, but they made a full-length Hollywood movie about him, which was a fictionalized movie, but it was based on the real, stories that happened. Well, anyway, he had an overwhelming negative experience. Now, let me ask you this. Out of all the times I've heard Mary Rodwell speak, she seems to only speak about positive ET experiences. Am I right?
That's all I've ever heard her say so far, but I'm sure that that's not always the case, because there are some negative ETs out there.
Yeah, there are, and so they usually give credence with that, but overwhelmingly, and I'm saying her and not Mary Ellen Guiley, but her and Barbara Lamb, and Barbara Lamb's a hypnotherapist as well, doing these past life regressions, but they talk about overwhelmingly positive experiences with all these ETs. The ETs are wanting to save the earth, and they're wanting to help humanity and help with the ascension and go to 5D and all this stuff. I find it peculiar, or I find it unusual, that depending on who the abductee is or the experiencer, their testimony or their account of what happened is almost always overwhelmingly positive or overwhelmingly negative. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, I think that I think ETs are here, and I think that the military are mixed up with them, and so I think that when we talk about ETs, it's hard to differentiate whether they are when we talk about whether or not the ETs are hostile. It's hard to differentiate between whether the friendly and hostile ones are the ones mixed up with our government, because our government's fairly hostile because they're killing us. Our own government are killing us. So when we're thinking about the hostile ETs, it's hard to know which ones are mixed up with our government.
It really is. It really is. And there's the idea that Hadibal had, the Russian scientist who I think's been killed. He's the one who figured out a harmonic relationship between the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun based on all these advanced calculations. And he made a lot of other interesting discoveries. But he puts elves, gnomes, undines, jinn, Bigfoot, aliens. He puts them all in one class, as if it's all one class of beings, and I thought that was unusual.
I've been thinking a lot lately. I don't know whether it's more wishful thinking or not, but I got a suspicion that I may potentially be an abductee, because when I was a kid, I used to get this regular nightmare and this was when I was when I was a tiny kid, too young to have a dream like this. I used to have this regular nightmare that I could reach up and touch the moon, and I was petrified that it was going to crush me. And I could see the craters very clearly, and it was very bright. So I've been thinking a lot about that recently. I'm thinking that could only be happening if I was on a spaceship and zooming in towards it, like landing, perhaps.
Yeah.
So, because I always remember having this dream where the moon would be there and getting really big, like that, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was as if I could reach up and touch it. That's what I remember of this dream from when I was a kid. And I've always remembered that. But now as an adult, and I'm thinking about it, with all this stuff I'm seeing about abductees and stuff, I've thought about that. I'm thinking, if I was on an alien ship looking through the porthole, that's the way it would look if I was going in for a landing.
That's true.
But we'll never know.
I wouldn't say that. And what if you got abducted tonight and went up into an alien craft? You'd know tonight.
If it had portholes.
Yeah, if they don't wipe your memory.
Yeah. But who knows what's going on? And it may be just that when I was a baby, I saw a movie or something. Although, no, that can't be true, because we didn't have TV when I was a baby. So that rules that one out.
Yeah. something was happening. What I'm wondering is how somebody can tell the difference between a regular, like an abduction, or a type of fairy visiting, or a visitation by some entities that are using something besides nuts and bolts spaceships too.
Because there is always the other possibility that I wasn't abducted at all. Maybe I did an out of body, because babies and children are very good. So I understand at doing out of body stuff, and maybe I just left my body and zoomed up to the moon on my own. That's potentially possible.
I'm starting to think that's what a lot of these alien abduction experiences are. Is that they feel like they're being put into a tractor beam and drawn up into the mothership. Well, what if they really are, but it's just their astral body and their physical body is remaining down below, and it's essentially one of their subtle bodies that is being abducted. What do you think about that idea?
Well, possible, because I do remember that I used to have a lot of flying dreams when I was younger, which may be that I was astrally projecting. Because I've been trying to astrally project for ever so long and haven't succeeded, as far as I know. But maybe I did when I was younger. I don't know. But because I used to have a lot of flying dreams when I was much younger, which might have been out of body experiences. I used to have a lot of falling dreams too.
Well,
you ever have those?
That seems somewhat related. Falling and flying. They're both in the air.
Yeah. I used to feel like I was falling through the bottom of the bed, just falling and falling and falling.
What do you think about the idea that that the Earth is alive and that it's its own being? It's a conscious entity. Have you?
Well, I think all things are conscious, whether it be animal, mineral, or vegetable. I think everything is conscious in some way.
Yeah, I agree with that. Johann von Goethe, Goethe. It doesn't have an R in it, but yet it's pronounced Goethe, as you know. Mm-hmm. He was a naturalist and made many profound observations, and along those very lines that you're speaking of.
Well, as if you consider that Schrödinger, he says there is one mind, one consciousness. If that's true, and that one consciousness, or if you just take the version in the Bible, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That means that God projected his mind into everything. That means that if God makes a rock, the rock is the consciousness of God. So the rock must be conscious, mustn't it?
Yes. And, even Rudolf Steiner talks about the consciousness of mineral consciousness, plant consciousness, animal consciousness, human consciousness, and then up the angelic hierarchy.
Yes.
As these more subtle and fine consciousnesses.
Yes.
Now, just because some of these consciousnesses are more fine or supposedly may, in appearance, be more evolved than we are, the human being, I think the truth could actually be quite radically different. Maybe they are in these super sensible worlds more powerful or more apt and able to get around. But
yes.
One thing that we find a constant theme with these, maybe not these goetic, entities, or maybe not these archontic figures, but angels. Angels is a perfect example. In other words, if it's an angel of music, everything's music. Every emotion it has is music. Every thought it has is music. it's the angel of music. Well, the angel of music doesn't know anything about warfare. The angel of music doesn't even know what groceries are or how to pay a bill or anything like that. So if that angel wound up down here on earth, they'd just be put into a mental home. So it might be some type of exalted thought in relation to this realm, or, maybe from perceiving that realm or perceiving from that realm. But there's a lot of practical, no-nonsense things that humans can do that I am almost convinced that aliens cannot do for some reason. And one of those things is coming here, and I can't make my mind of whether I think that they are coming down here in the flesh and interacting with us. In other words, so you meet somebody on the street and you talking to them, and that they're an alien or something. I mean, there's accounts like that in the Bible. Those men that came into Abraham's brother's Lot, and they wanted to be saved by being raped by the mob. And Lot, even to quell the crowd, even offered his young virgin daughters as an offering, but they rejected that, wanting instead the sweet, savory favors of that man they wanted to rape. So it was quite a immoral society back then.
Yes, we are different, because those star children. Mary Rodwell was saying that one of the star children could walk along the street and point to people in the street, because the star children are all among us, and the aliens are among us. And one of the star children could walk along the street and point to people and tell her what level of star child each person was, and he could say 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60%, depending on what level of DNA each person had, because we've all got different levels of our DNA engaged. So you and I, we've got something like 3% of our DNA engaged, and the star children have got 60 or 70% of their DNA engaged, because they're smarter than us. And so it is. So he was able to just walk along the street, and because they're more intelligent than us, he could sense that they were highly evolved, levels. And so he could actually spot the aliens just by pointing at them and saying that there's one. As he was walking around, that's amazing. So the aliens are actually walking among us, and he could spot them.
Well, wouldn't that be a very good power for an intelligence agency to have?
I would imagine so. Well, maybe some of these star children are among the intelligence agencies.
Oh well, I don't see how they couldn't be, because as soon as intelligence agencies find out about some gifted child like that, they're going to have a new babysitter soon.
Well, I think Mary Rodwell was saying that if you become party to top secret information, you can't share it, because as soon as you do, they know you've done it. You can't photocopy something and give somebody a copy, because the moment you do, they know, because of they are highly evolved. So you just can't get away with it. She was saying that in that movie.
That interesting. That kind of goes along with what Max Spears was saying, and Max Spears was criticizing an organization. I'm not going to mention it right now. You know what it is. It's an organization that I'm personally a member of. I know. And he was saying that when people spoke ill of this organization, I don't know who in the organization, but some people could detect that, just the resonant energy signatures.
Yes.
Knowing that somebody's plotting against you.
Yes.
That would definitely come in handy with the intelligence agencies, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, and I this is thought transfer or whatever it is. I know that these energies exist because you know that there are telepathic people about. So you have to watch your thoughts, the thought police.
That's exactly right. Yeah, the thought police. And so we can definitely see how that would be a useful tool to have back in, Victorian England, with Sir John Dee and Queen Elizabeth and all that. All the palace intrigue. The number one form of assassination back then was poisoning.
Yes.
Always a good old standard of the court, from what I understand. And so, you'd want to keep an eye on your enemies for sure.
Well, I was talking earlier on to some people, and there was a woman who was telling me that she was going crazy because all the time she could, without trying, she was picking up all this noise from everybody's thoughts, and it was driving her bonkers because she didn't want to be hearing everybody's thoughts, because she would be walking along the street and all she could hear was all this chatter from everybody's thoughts.
Was she always like that, or did something in her life change to make her like that?
She had a near-death experience.
There you go, near-death experience. And another thing that we're seeing that sometimes triggers this, Keith, and you're probably aware of this, is some traumatic head injury.
Yes.
Sometimes it can let loose of the program.
Well, it's funny you say that, because it's in the near-death experience group where I was, where we were sharing experiences, and her experience is that ever since her near-death experience, she's been hearing all this noise from, because she hears people's thoughts.
Yeah.
It's traumatic for her because she doesn't want to be hearing everybody's thoughts all the time, because you don't get any peace. It's just constant noise, like this noise I'm getting from. It sounds like I'm in a machine shop all the time. It drives me crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, now are you seeing this? Is this woman one of your clients?
Sorry, no, she's not.
Have you met her in person?
No, it's just that she's in the group, and she was just sharing her experience, and we've all been sharing our experiences in there.
Yeah.
And some of the things that happen when if you had a near-death experience, good things happen and bad things happen, and for her, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, and Keith, I'm pretty sure I've had a near-death experience too. I was almost killed by 6 men, almost beaten to death. That was years and years ago, but I definitely had a head injury that left me some dizziness for some years. It eventually all went away, but those experiences can be.
Well, I'm still being treated for my near-death experience after 40 years. I'm still on anticonvulsants, and I've taken 5 kilograms of anticonvulsants in the 40 years. That's a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
So I've been on downers for 40 years, in effect.
Oh, your painkillers?
No, not painkillers. They're anticonvulsants. It's like a downer, because they dumb you down.
Oh, why do you take those?
Because I have epilepsy.
Oh, epilepsy. Right. Now, if you don't take the medication, will you have an epileptic seizure?
Well, I have epileptic seizures when I do take them, so that they're not working properly.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Yeah. So,
but the interesting thing is, when I did a 40-day water fast in 2014, and when I was fasting, I didn't have any seizures.
What happened? You never had a seizure while you were doing that?
No.
Okay. What was the activity specifically that you were doing that it had something to do with the water?
I stopped eating for 40 days and drank 8 pints of water a day.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen any visions from doing that?
No.
Have you ever heard any voices from doing that?
No. That was one of the reasons I started, was because I was hoping something like that might happen. Because a friend of mine, who I think is a bullshitter, was telling me that he'd done a 40-day water fast, and he told me all kinds of crazy shit that happened to him, seeing gods and all kinds of things. And I thought, I wonder if I didn't believe him, really, to be honest. But I thought, I wonder if any of that's true, and I thought, let's test it. And so I did a 40-day water fast, and I didn't get any of that kind of stuff because I thought out of the two of us, if anything like that ever happened, I would be more likely for that to happen to me than it would to him.
Is that why he's a bullshitter?
Because he's a bullshitter, I thought. I thought if that was going to happen, it would be probably less likely. I thought if it was going to happen at all, it would probably be less likely to happen to me. But if it was going to happen, it would be me that it would happen to.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
And so the question looms is maybe something has happened and you just haven't been able to remember it.
No, I don't think any had. I felt really good while I was fasting. I felt my body was cleansed. My blood vessels felt clean. I felt thoroughly clean, like I'd been showered inside and out. And I felt really good. And it was a good experience. But I didn't have any visions. I didn't have any visits from gods or anything. And that was a bit disappointing. But
did you lose any weight?
I lost 45 pounds.
Oh, did you get below 100?
I was below 100 pounds. I weighed, what did I weigh? I was 140.
You got down to about 105.
I went down to 154 pounds, 11 stone.
154 pounds?
Yeah, it's 11 stone.
I think that's what you weigh right now.
That is what I weigh now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you
weighed over 200. I weighed over
105, maybe. 105, 106, something like that.
Sorry?
It sounds like you got down to about 105 or 106 pounds.
No, I was 154 pounds when I finished.
You mean when you lost 45 pounds of weight, then you were 154 pounds?
No, I was over 200 pounds when I started.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But now, have you gone back? In other words, since you lost that weight, did you ever put it back on?
No.
Fascinating. I've never heard of that before. It's almost like you changed your physique with one water fasting.
Yes.
One incredibly long water fasting. Huh.
Well,
has anyone else ever reported that?
Sorry, I don't understand you.
Has anyone else ever reported that same phenomenon where they do a water fasting, an extreme water fasting for like over a couple of weeks, and they lose a bunch of weight, and then that weight never comes back on?
I don't know about anybody else. I know that I haven't put it back on because I didn't go back to the same kind of food that I was eating before.
Yeah.
If anybody does a 40-day water fast and doesn't return to the same diet they were on before, then they're going to keep the weight off. It's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ever since I came off the water fast, I've only been eating 1 can of beans a day. Nobody's going to put weight on 1 can of beans a day, are they?
Yeah, I know it. I still can't get over that. And I think I mentioned I've been eating more beans as a result of, but I mix mine. And as a matter of fact, I just had my dinner and that was beans. But I mix it with beef.
No.
Just because I need the extra protein and stuff, you know.
Well, I do put some herbs in it and pepper and turmeric.
Oh yeah, turmeric. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. That's
some
yellow stuff, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Curcumin.
Indians like that, don't they?
Yeah. You gotta have black pepper with it, otherwise your bloodstream can't absorb it.
Oh, you don't want to eat too much of it?
No, if you have turmeric, you need to have black pepper with it.
Okay.
Otherwise, your bloodstream can't absorb it.
Oh, that's fascinating. I didn't know that. I've never heard that
Always
before.
have turmeric with black pepper.
Huh. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So, is Mary Rodwell, is she in the same, recognized by the same academy of hypnotherapists that you are? Or, in other words, are y'all in the same, governing body, under the same governing body?
We don't. Hypnosis isn't regulated. There isn't really a governing body for hypnosis.
Oh, that's good. I've been wondering that information because you and I had talked about scaring up some new revenue and some new lines of getting some new clients for you and stuff, and we'll talk about that off list. But that was one of the questions I was wondering is what were the if it was regulated or not. And that's good that it's not. So no one, but that being said, you still do have qualifications and certifications with some of these different schools, I know. Move. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought I lost you there for a second. But so what are your accreditations as far as the the type of hypnotism that you do?
Me? Well, I do Eric's. It's hard to say, really.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean? In other words, I know that you studied this one type of, I know that you do more than one different type. For instance, what about your quantum healing?
Well, quantum healing is self-taught. In fact, all of my hypnosis is self-taught, but if you want to talk about styles, I do Ericksonian hypnosis, and I do NLP, and I do Ericksonian. I said I do NLP. I do quantum healing. I have taken some courses, but I didn't need to because I've been doing hypnosis for years when I did some courses. And the first course I did, I ended up teaching it, which was strange.
Yeah.
That was at City University. When I went there, I arrived, and the tutor asked me if I would introduce the course. I said, "What do you mean? I'm here to take it, not teach it." And he said, "No, I want you to teach the students about the uses of hypnosis and what you've done with it." So I found myself facing the 150 students at City University, telling them how I'd come to hypnosis and how I'd used it to overcome my paralysis and how I'd used it to overcome arthritis, and just had to describe all that to them. I was shitting myself because I'd never faced an audience before. That was quite funny.
Yeah, sounds like it. Now, how did this professor know to ask you that?
Because to get onto the course, I had to phone in and speak to a researcher over the telephone, and there was a young lady I had to talk to and chatted to her for a couple of hours.
Yeah, so that's where they got that's where they found out about your previous experience.
And that turned out to be his wife.
Oh.
Very sexy thing she was.
Oh. What's the name of this? This was a class that was being taught at the college?
University.
Oh, university. Tell me again the name of that university.
City University.
Oh, like CITY, City.
Yes.
All right.
London, City University, London.
Oh, okay. When you first said that, I was thinking SETI, like SETI, like Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence
No,
University. I was like, okay,
no, it wasn't.
yeah,
Gosh, it's 3 in the morning.
yeah. Well, let me tell you, we talked for an hour, Keith. So I think I probably got enough here for a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So why don't we talk about some of those other topics later? I have one more question about NLP, neuro linguistic programming.
Yes.
Which I think that that's just something that sometimes people can do kind of naturally too. You know, they can naturally have, you know, the NLP type of hypnotic gaze, along with the cadence and the way that they speak, very rhythmic, that appeals to the subconscious of people. What do you think?
Well, I think you don't understand what an NLP is at all.
Understand what is?
NLP, you don't understand what NLP is. NLP is modeling of behavior.
Yeah, right. No, I've read part of the book by Richard Bandler. He's the man who coined the term NLP. But you know,
Yeah.
there's many disciplines within it.
Mm. Yes.
You've heard
It's
of
all,
Richard Bandler, right?
yes, I have. I've got some of his books behind me. I've been compared to Bandler too by one of my colleagues who's seen a video of me hypnotizing. In fact, he's seen a video of me hypnotizing Kat Vecchione, the woman that you've met. He saw me hypnotizing her when she had her cancer, and he said, "You've been trained by Bandler, haven't you?" I said, "No, I haven't. No, I'd never seen him when I made that video."
So is it true that the voice can have a rhythm and a cadence of its own that slowly draws the people into this entrainment or hypnotic trance, or is that not how it works?
Well, it does, but that's not what NLP is. NLP is the modeling of behavior. You find somebody who's successful or succeeding in something, and you model what they did, and to find out how they succeeded.
That makes sense.
So you copy the behavior of successful people. So if you wanted to be like, heaven forbid, Bill Gates.
We must be psychic. I knew you were going to say that. I almost said it right before you did. I was thinking Bill Gates. Yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted to be like Bill Gates, you follow and copy the behavior of Bill Gates.
Right.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah, really. We don't need another Monsanto. Well, let me ask you this. You are aware, though, that some people think that neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, is a type of mind control. Have you ever heard that idea?
Well, it is mind control.
Yeah, but controlling your own mind. You know, there's allegations that, you know, other people are using NLP on you, you know, to control you.
Well, it is mind control. You do use it to control minds. That's the whole purpose of it. You're doing it to manipulate people in a good way, hopefully, to help them to make good decisions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like a car. It's just like a car. You can use it to get you to the supermarket, or you can use it to run people over.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
I've not deliberately run people over with my car. No, I haven't got a car, but I use hypnosis for good reasons.
Yeah, to help people. Yeah, that's a perfect example of somebody who's using hypnotherapy in an altruistic sense would be the type of work that you've been doing. Have you been getting many sessions lately?
Not a great deal, but that's not what we're talking about here. But with Kat, who won't mind me saying her name because she's given me her permission, I manipulated her for her own benefit, because without me, she would have died.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So if I explain what I did with her, when I first came across her, she was recommended to me via a friend in Australia, and she was in Orlando, and I was in England. So we made the connection, and she needed my help because she needed to have surgery done for cancer. But the surgeon couldn't do the surgery because they couldn't put they couldn't intubate her. She couldn't put a tube in her throat for the anaesthetic, and so they couldn't give her oxygen. They couldn't give her anaesthetic through the tube in her throat, and they couldn't do that because she had a U-bend in her neck. Her spine had a U-bend in it, so they couldn't intubate her. So she asked me for help, and I connected with her over Skype, and so she said, "Can you help me?" So I said, "Yes," very positively. So straight away, I'm manipulating her because I didn't know the size of the problem at all because I hadn't seen her.
Right.
But I said, "Yes," being very positive. That's manipulation because I want her to feel positive. And then I said, "Turn the camera on, let's have a look at you." And when she turned the camera on, I saw the back of her head. Her chin was on her left breast. And then I said, "Okay, let's start." And I'm thinking, oh my God. Now, I'm not going to say that to her, am I? Because if I did, she's not going to be thinking good things. So again, I'm manipulating her. I said, "Let's get going. Let's do this." So this is NLP because I'm giving her a positive mindset. I'm making her think we're going to fix this because she had a U-bend in her spine. Now, I'm a hypnotist. I'm not a miracle worker. Normally, you would do major surgery to correct a U-bend in the spine. You'd be talking about metal plates, wires, steel pins, and months of surgery. It's a very nasty operation. And you couldn't do it anyway unless you could intubate her. This is somebody who is going to die with an operation that being needed. So I'm manipulating her with NLP, with hypnosis, and I'm just being positive all the way. I'm just saying, let's do this, let's get going, let's get started. So I'm giving her a positive mindset straight away. And at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm giving to myself, I'm thinking, oh shit, what the hell am I going to do? But that's not what I say to her. So I'm thinking that to myself. But with her, I'm saying everything positive because it's what I want her to think. And that's what she did think. So I set up in her own mind a positive loop. So in her own body, because I know that her body has got the facilities to fix the problem. And so I set up the positive loop in her mind, gave her the mindset to get the brain and the body working together in a way that is going to create the conditions to fix her. And because I did that, then that's what we created, because I only had 2 days to fix her, because I was starting on day one, and her surgery was going to be the next day.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, well, that was exactly what I thought when I saw her. The camera came on, and I thought, oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She didn't need me. She needed Jesus.
Yeah, she was in a lot of pain, it sounds like.
Yes, she was in a lot of pain because she'd been like that for a long time. You imagine the back pain she was getting.
I can't even imagine it. I mean, for your chin to be all the way down on your chest like that, I mean, it's uncomfortable just to hold it like that for a minute or two.
Yes.
Much less for weeks on end or months.
She had a lot of back pain.
Oh, man, I'll bet.
But that is... So I was manipulating her all the time with good intent. and she straightened her neck in the last 5 minutes of hypnosis. Her head did that.
Okay, well, here's the next question. Of course, that everyone's going to ask. If hypnotherapy to manipulate people for their own good is possible, is it not possible that hypnotism with mal or bad intent is also possible? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
So can someone be programmed just like a Manchurian candidate to be an assassin with some alternate personality that they know nothing of?
Absolutely. Many times the CIA are well known for it, so probably too the KGB. And it's been demonstrated on television many times. In fact, my friend Tom has done that on USA television.
Was he the guy that did that work in Taiwan?
Yes, that's him. Yes, Tom. I've forgotten his second name. Tom Silver.
So he.
You can that on YouTube. Look up Tom Silver on YouTube, and you'll find his video.
Yeah, I've already seen one of them. You sent me one of them, and I watched it, and it was very fascinating.
Yeah, and Darren Brown's done it as well. Tom Silver did it first, and Darren Brown copied him, and took all the credit for it. But Tom Silver did it first.
Tell me again who the guy is who took all the credit for it.
Darren Brown.
Brian Brown.
Dylan
Brown.
Derren.
Dylan Brown. Got it.
No, Derren.
B-E-L-L-E.
D for Derek. E for Eric. R Romeo, E Eric. N for Nigel.
Darren. Got it. Darren Brown.
Yes.
That's fascinating.
Famous English performer.
Oh, you put him more as a performer than a healer?
He's not a healer, no.
He's just does a carnival act?
He's a big act in England.
How much do you pay to go to one of those shows? Would it be real expensive?
How much what? Can you see that?
Yeah. Darren Brown.
Yes. Did you see the title? Tricks of the Mind?
Tricks of the Mind, yeah. Fascinating.
You'll see him on YouTube if you look him up.
Yeah, I'll check that out. You know, I think I've actually seen him before. As a matter of fact, I know I have, and it was on one of these shows, you know, about that, you know, like hypnotizing people. A guy just walking down the street, you know.
Yes.
Now, is he the one that does that deal, like where, like what Aleister Crowley did that one time? He started walking behind somebody and mimicked their gait and copied them exactly and got in a sympathy with them somehow, or glamorized them, and then tripped and fell, and then that person tripped and fell. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't think I've seen that. No, don't think I've seen that.
That's something that supposedly Aleister Crowley did. Let me let my dog out. Another example that I've heard of a type of mass hypnosis or hypnotism is the Reverend Jim Jones. Apparently he was quite the hypnotist.
Oh, the guy that makes everybody claps on the stage and hits them with his coat and stuff.
No, not that guy. He's the guy involved with the Guyana Georgetown massacre down in South America. He had a church. He was a charismatic preacher who had a following of thousands.
He made everybody commit suicide.
Yes.
Oh, him. Yes.
Yeah, he. There was stories about when he was in South America before he even got going with his practice big. He could do feats like that. He could control people's thoughts and actions somewhat from a distance. And he gave an example to his friend there up in a balcony, and he started saying what these old ladies down on a bench were going to do.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Well, Keith, I think we definitely got enough for a show here. We've got an hour and 13 minutes on tape, so it'll probably be right around there, maybe even a little bit longer once we get it going. Do you have a picture that you want to use for your profile picture on the video? Or it's going to show you too, but or I can just get a picture off of your feed. I'm probably going to make them both black and white, like I did that one with me and Josh Reeves. I made them both black and white. It looked pretty good.
A profile pic. Why do you need a picture? I don't understand. You've never asked for that before.
Yeah. Do you have a picture on Facebook or something like that?
But you've not asked for one before. Why do you want one now?
Oh, well, no, that's just only if you, your image has been appearing in the videos. If there's what they call a thumbnail that is the thing that has the words on it that you click on to go there. I was just going to, when I did that deal about Josh Reeves, I had both me and him, on a picture on there. I was going to do something like that, but if you're not interested in that, that's no big deal.
Well, hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture. My mouse has stopped working now. I don't know why, but my mouse has been going funny lately.
Huh. Maybe you ought to take it apart and see if it's been tampered with. Maybe that's where the...
No, I think it's Bill Gates tampering with my software more than the problem with the mouse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can bet on that.
He wants me to upgrade to Windows 10. That's why he's doing it.
Oh, yeah. So they can spy on you all the time.
Yeah, I don't want Windows 10.
Yeah, fuck that, huh? We ain't trying to hear about nothing like that. Fuck that.
I don't like all those icons. I don't like icons. I like to have words on my screen instead of icons.
Yeah. I don't know if it was having to do with the Chinese calendar or what, but a friend of mine who was born on a certain date, and it had two different names, but one of them was Mysterious Icon.
Yeah.
So in other words, she was possibly destined to become a mysterious icon. And she definitely is that. She's up there in New Jersey right now. They're getting ready to pitch her show to a bunch of producers and stuff. But she's coming back here actually in less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we're going to be together then for a little while until she goes. She's got a film shoot down in South Texas near the border here, like in the middle of January. So, she's been gone a lot, but she writes. We text and talk every day.
Mm-hmm. Just looking for a picture. Got some pictures of me in a nice white jacket. How about a picture of me in a nice white jacket with two nice ladies?
Yeah, that sounds good. That's
Yeah,
the kind of picture my audience likes.
Okay.
Are you going to send it on Facebook Instant Messenger?
I can send it to you here in Skype. How about that?
That's fine. I'll be standing by. Oh wait, this might be it.
How about that?
Oh no, it says gallery, but there's nothing in my gallery. Did you already? I
put in Skype.
Yeah, I'm on Skype. I'm looking on. I have a gallery on Skype.
Can you see it? I can see it. You must be able to see it.
No, I can't see it. Let me look at the
Look
gallery.
at the chat box in Skype.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see it. Okay. So let me download this before we,
That was a really nice white jacket. That wasn't until a pen leaked in the pocket.
Oh my goodness. And you got some fine chicks there with you. What was this, at a conference or what?
This was the woman on the left. That's Valerie Austin, who is a friend of your president Trump.
And now, who is the lady to your left?
To my left, well, she's a very nice lady, and her name is oh gosh, her name is I can never remember names. She sent me a message the other day, and her name is hold on. Oh, her name is hold on, it's going to come back to me. It's it is oh, it is oh gosh. She's a good friend of mine. It's gone out of my head. It's crazy, isn't it?
You'll think of it. Man, she's fucking fine, dude.
She is, yes.
How old do you think she is?
How old? I have no idea.
Probably.
She's a mother.
Yeah, she's probably maybe 30 to 35 years old, something like that. Who knows?
No, she's probably older than that, I think.
She probably is. She probably is, and she's holding it down real good. She seems like a nice lady. Okay, well, I'll use that picture. And I guess until next time, we'll see you later.
Hold on, I'll have that name for you in a moment. I'm just having to look her up.
Yeah. I want to know I want to find out who she is.
And I'll tell you her name. Katie, that is.
Is she into hypnotism?
Katie Glenn. She's a hypnotist.
Oh, she's a hypnotist. How do you spell her last name?
Glen.
Oh, Katie Glenn.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. She's a lovely lady.
Oh, she is. My goodness. I'm writing you a text right now.
Writing what?
Is that how you spell it?
No. Katie. Does it matter?
No, I mean, I was just curious. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That's it. That's the
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Valerie is over in the USA at the moment. She's just been to a party with Donald Trump.
She just did work on Donald Trump.
Didn't do any work on him, but she's been to a party with him.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. So is she in the United States right now or in England?
In the USA.
Oh, does she live in the USA now?
She does at the moment. In the winter, she lives in the USA, and in the summer, she comes back to England.
Oh, sounds like she's a very successful hypnotherapist.
She's retired at the moment, but she's still busy.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah.
She knows all the Hollywood set.
Yeah, I'll bet. Does she do past life regressions?
She doesn't believe in them, I don't think.
Do you?
Officially, she doesn't believe in them.
Right. Do you believe in it?
Um,
Or do you do past life regressions?
Have you stopped recording?
No, no, it's still recording. You want me to turn off the recording?
No, it's just I want to go to the restroom.
Oh yeah, yeah. If there's like big long silences and stuff like that, I edit that stuff out.
Because I need to go to the restroom.
Okay, that's fine. I'll hold. I'll wait. We're here with Keithanthony Taylor, hypnotherapist, quantum healer. Keith is a regular guest on my show. We discuss many different topics. Today's show, we'll be discussing Mary Rodwell, the ET experiencer. I don't know if she actually is, but she experiences the people that experience it. You know, the abductees, so to speak. And has a lot of interesting material about star children. You know, really super smart kids that are 2 and 3 years old and learning quantum physics, etc. So supposedly smarter than you and me. Kind of having my doubts about that, but we'll see. And we might talk about Katie Glenn as well. Katie Glenn, the successful hypnotherapist who was at a party just recently in D.C. with Donald Trump. Not with him, but, you know, was at a party that he showed up at. So she's kind of down with the Hollywood set, and we're going to look into her a little bit. Katie Glenn. Gunter! Gunter! Oh, you little grimace. You there, Keith?
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and call it a night.
Yeah, I'm going to go to bed. It's 4 a.m.
Okay. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Have a great one.
All right.
And, what you got? 11 o'clock there, is it? Oh no, you're on Mountain Time, aren't you? Or not? You're on Central Time, aren't you?
A what?
You're on Central Time, aren't you?
Say that again.
You're on Central Time, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on Central Time. Yeah.
So it'll be
4
10
hours.
o'clock then.
It's 9:56 in the evening on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is it already Wednesday where you are?
It is. It is.
Yeah. All right, Keith. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.